Breaking news, breaking news. Major tornado damage, Missouri. Check this damage out, folks. We're talking about Nevada, Missouri. And all throughout Missouri, there has been extensive damage from an outbreak of tornadoes that is working its way through Arkansas right now. Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky area, Illinois, St. Louis area, massive amount of tornado damage all over the place. We're doing an air survey of the damage that's out there, but there is a lot, folks. There is a lot. And we take you to the area of Nevada, Missouri. And you can see from the sky here, there is lots of damage. It zeroes in. It shows you a lot of, look at that, homes that are just destroyed, absolutely gone. Moundville, Missouri was another hard hit area. Potosi, Missouri was a hard hit area. So we're taking you to Missouri right now, folks. Missouri. And you could just see the massive amounts of damage earlier today as tornadoes swept through the area. Wow. They're calling this a major outbreak and is very concerned about this line, this thunderstorm line that has been working its way across the Midwest. Nevada, Missouri area. That's where we take you today, folks. Come on in. Just a massive amount of damage. Pole snap, trees, homes, literally, it's crazy. It is crazy. Now, they've been warning about these storms for the last couple days that they would be coming. But we like to see the power of Mother Nature. Now, there's a bunch of tornado warnings all over the place right now, but we're kind of focusing on the news reports and the damage that has occurred in this area. So, yeah, this is pretty intense, folks. Pretty intense. Look at that. And it's a debris field all over the place. It goes all over the field with just sometimes people's homes and things go up in the air and then you don't see it for miles later. You don't see it for miles later. Pretty wild stuff. Look at that. Crazy. So now we're surveying the damage, folks. Come on in. Tornado outbreak across the Midwest. I'm sure we'll get more as it goes through the night. But literally homes destroyed in the area. And there's tornado warnings all over the place. We're talking Northwest Indiana. Lines are coming through Arkansas right now. Kind of viewing radar at the same time. This is crazy stuff, folks. This is absolutely crazy stuff. Farms, barns, and all this crazy, like heavy stuff. Seems like it's hit Indiana. And it's working its way down. Just east of St. Louis. It passed through St. Louis area, more or less, making its way towards through Arkansas. Memphis, Tennessee, look out. Memphis, Tennessee, look out. But we're seeing what it's done thus far. I think tomorrow will be really bad, and particularly like western Tennessee. We're looking at the damage caused from these tornadoes in the Nevada, Missouri area. Actually, authorities gave a press conference in Nevada, Missouri. Unclear on fatalities, if any at all. Unclear on fatalities. where we're looking at some of the damage here from this crazy storm that passed through. Pretty wild and crazy stuff. Look at that. See? It ripped it to shreds. Ripped it to shreds. I mean, the chat said no fatalities. Thank God. That outbreak a couple weeks ago was pretty bad. Pretty much in the same area. Just west of St. Louis. Pretty much in the same area. And crazy footage. Look at that. This is some of the damage. That's what we're surveying. The damage from this craziness. There's storm chasers out there chasing these storms right now. Pretty crazy. Look at that. Yeah, you see? I always like to see what these storms do. We get tornadoes a lot in Florida. I don't know where you're from. I'm always been fascinated with weather. Occasionally we do the storm chase. You know that. I don't think this line actually makes its way down through Florida, because I looked at the Florida forecast and it. Vernon County, Missouri area too. Moundville, Vernon County, Missouri area. Heavy damage in these spots. It's crazy. Crazy amount of damage. Storm chasers had a bit. Look at that. Look how it pushed out. Look at that. That is crazy. Look at that. See all the debris field out in the field? Yeah, that is insane. No, literally insane. Come on in, folks. We're surveying the damage and just reminding you the power of Mother Nature. News reports are saying overnight storms in Missouri left a trail of damage across the state. A trail of damage. A possible tornado touchdown in Nevada, Missouri. So a lot of the damage in also Cooper County, Missouri. The Missouri Highway Patrol has said no fatalities. No fatalities, but man, this is like hurricane damage, if not worse. It's pretty crazy. Like hurricane damage, if not worse. Look at that. It was like a nuclear bomb went off. I wanted to jump on and share some of the damage. Have you and Mag thought about storm chasing? Yeah, we've done that occasionally. Not necessarily Midwest tornado chasing, though I kind of want to do it. My friends in Arkansas, particularly Eastern Arkansas, I'm very concerned about Eastern Arkansas tonight. Extremely concerned. There's another newscaster that was out there surveying the damage. We'll play him shortly. Actually, in Ohio today, lightning struck a house and it caught on fire. They were putting a fire out. It was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. Look at this. They got a lot of debris in the water there. Crazy, folks. Tornado warning in numerous places in the Midwest. Lots of tornado warning. Look at that. This is the damage from the line that came through Missouri. Through Missouri. Pretty crazy. Whoa. See what I mean? It's wild stuff. Unbelievable damage. Unbelievable damage from these tornadoes. Yeah, Nevada, like Nevada, the state. Nevada, Missouri area. Look at that. Ooh, crazy. So a lot of damage. I don't know what I don't know if that's an EF2 type damage. 3, I think it's more 2. Tractor trailer even blew over. Pretty crazy, huh? I think so. Went in a hop on and truck. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Here, ABC 17
Listen
News. Just kind of want to give you some updates on what's going on down here towards Pilot Grove. So I'm currently located on 135. This is going to be just northeast of Pilot Grove. This is going to be in between Pilot Grove and Highway 70. So we had a tornado touchdown. This is going to be confirmed by the National Weather Service down here in northeastern portions of Pilot Grove. So what you're seeing behind me is some of the damage. I've been going around a lot of this morning, kind of just seeing what's been happening. So far, early indications, when I talked to the National Weather Service Storm Survey Damage Team, they were telling me that so far what they've seen preliminary is going to be an EF1, or at least a high-end EF1. Now, that is not the final report, folks. That could be subject to change, but this looks like it was more of a wide event spanning more than a few hundred feet wide, just because the path of this system, well, it looks pretty robust. So let's talk about a little bit with what we're seeing here. It looks like some type of water storage bin, maybe for even a silo here. That's on the side of the road. You can see these trees here all pushed back over, even a little bit of metal, some of that debris. Now, whenever we go on the other side of Highway 135 here, you're seeing a house. Every window in this house looks to have its windows actually blown back out. Power lines going to be down throughout much of the city. We're seeing multiple different utility companies coming back out here. It looks like they're putting more of those power poles back out. That is going to try to be a little bit of relief to hopefully get power back as soon as they can. But folks, it is a lot of power lines down with this system. So if you're going to be out in this area, power is most likely going to be out for quite a bit of time. I mean, look at this, folks. You're seeing some debris out in the field. I'm going to go up over this hill. Got to be very careful, folks, especially when you're out towards these systems, because down power lines everywhere. You don't want to step on those. That can be very dangerous. But you're seeing a lot of these trees. They're pretty bare on the tops and even on the sides. It's pretty impressive, the damage path for this system that we've seen so far. Like I said, this seems to be more of a wide event for what we typically see for this system, especially if it's a higher EF1 like they do say for the preliminary report. So I'm going to be walking up here, giving more of an aspect. You're seeing a house coming up here just on the left of this utility truck. That is going to be a house missing half of its roof. So continue to do this little walk and talk. This is very informal, folks, but a lot of damage, very widespread. I actually spoke with a homeowner just earlier today. Their house was hit. Their roof was intact. Damage to their house, but their entire shed completely fell back over. And that actually left a lot of their vehicles entrapped in there. And there was a pretty good damage path. On top of that, multiple county emergency management services have been out and about doing some work. They had their chainsaws going. A lot of that is going to be due to people were actually having trees down on the roads. They couldn't get to and from their house at the time. But you're seeing there, Como Connect actually out here helping out restore some of the power into this area. They're going to continue to put up these power poles as we head towards the afternoon. Now, I want to get a little bit further down on this hill so you can kind of see what we're going to be looking at. This is going to be a pretty good damage path around here for this area. So off to the left here, you're seeing a lot of people been out and about helping. Something you'll kind of see in the distance here, I'm going to come a little bit closer so you guys can kind of understand what I'm going to be talking about. Looks like a trailer for an actual tractor, not a tractor trailer, but an actual farming tractor. The trailer attachment to them, very heavy, made out of steel and big wheels there, was actually completely flipped back over on its side. So a lot of damage here. Looks like there was a line of trees here expanding. This is going to be southwest back towards a little bit closer towards the north there. That whole line of trees looks to be pretty damaged there, kind of pushed back over. But a lot of the community been out and about helping. Has not been a shortage of emergency management services. So look at this, folks. Even right here off the side of the highway, that is going to be twisted metal that's kind of been thrown back down there. Kind of the same thing. Every tree I've seen, there's a decent amount of metal. And folks, not anywhere too close to me is there actually any metal on this backside of where this tornado would have kind of came from the southwest. So it must have carried pretty far from a little bit closer towards Pilot Grove. So here we are coming up on some of that damage. Looks like a silo and a shed were knocked down right here. And you kind of look a little bit higher in those trees there. That's going to be a power line that has been twisted and thrown around. So we're continuing to look at some of the damage around this area that we're continuing to see. Look at this, folks. I want you to pay attention here. I'm going to get out and around this vehicle here in a sec, just making sure it's clear. There is a lot of debris thrown across this field. So this kind of will give you a little bit more of a kind of perspective of just how powerful this tornado actually was. So we're coming up here, you're seeing these trees all knocked over, all pushed and twisted around. That's indicative of a tornado that comes through, not just straight line winds, a lot of this twisted metal all thrown around. And as you look a little bit further up, yep, there it is, folks. That's going to be that shop that is completely pushed back down. There's a little bit more in depth on the actual house where the window are all blown out on that, missing half of its roof. Look at the bigger trees pushed onto it too there, folks. Pretty impressive stuff here at this point in time. You look out in this field a little bit further out, that is going to be all the damage. Look at all the metal thrown all the way across this field. I mean, this thing went on for, looks like quite a bit of time. Seeing some tires there off to the side of the road, but something we're continuing to track. But we'll continue to give you updates as time goes on. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. I mean, considering albeit what it is, yeah.
No injuries, considering all the damage. That's damn lucky.
Yeah, I love to hear that. So folks, we're continuing to go back down here. I'm gonna continue to kind of walk a little bit closer to show you more of that damage. Also do want to say we are live television, so any language, just be aware, can't filter that out. Just want to apologize for that for the viewers, but something we're continuing to track. But look at these power lines, folks, draped all the way up and over this very tall tree. These power lines were actually broke off right here, so it must have pushed the power lines back and a little bit further away. So this is something we're continuing to watch. And folks, I'm going to be walking all around this area and driving around. So in a sec here, I'm going to get back in the ABC 17 storm tracker and we're going to go look at some more damage. But I mean, pretty incredible stuff you're seeing here. I mean, you can look at the wide base of this tree that was just blown back over. Look at this. It looks like somebody's chair. And folks, there's not really anything too close for this system to talk about for this chair here, but we're continuing to track all of this system as we push back through here. Pilot Grove Area Fire Department there. Like I said, seeing a lot of resources from all across the region. Seeing a lot of Boone County out here. You saw the electric company was Como for the utilities. But we're continuing to walk around. Pretty impressive. And you heard just there a short bit ago from those guys walking around. No injuries, no deaths reported within this system. But definitely going to be some pretty devastating damage to a lot of these homes, shops, vehicles. A lot of crazy stuff that we're continuing to see. So I'm going to continue to do this walk and talk, folks. You can stay with me as long as you'd like. Pretty soon here in a sec, we're going to go look at some more damage You're seeing, look at that. Even this metal here looks like part of somebody's drawer. I want to go ahead and pick this up. Look at that, folks. That's going to be part of somebody's, what seems to be a cabinet or a dresser on there. And folks, we're nowhere close to where the actual buildings for this stuff could have been blown away. Yes, there's a building here. Most likely that debris would have came a little bit closer back towards Pilot Grove as it passed through here, because you're looking off to the southwest. So the path would have came from here, and it would have came across 135, jumped 135, and continued back to the northwest. So that's where that path would have been for that system. Look at that. You can see even down there in the fields there, even some more metal there. Looks like part of some silos, or even part of a barn that has blown through. That's kind of one thing we've seen. We've seen some damage to some homes. Once again, seeing a home right over here. Looks like pretty much all the windows in that home completely blown through. There's a car out there front. Looks like they had a pretty good amount of damage here. Looks like the roof's still intact. Some shingles definitely missing. Trees are completely stripped from that there, but a lot of help making its way out to here. Now, if you do have any plans to travel to this area, folks, just be very courteous. There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of work that's going to have to be done in this area to return it back towards normal. And it's honestly probably best to steer clear of any traffic, especially 135 going through Pilot Grove all the way to the northeast, back towards Highway 70. So something you're gonna want to make sure that you're continuing to stay away from at this time. But they're continuing to do a lot of work on these power lines here. I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the storm tracker, get out of everybody's way. And we're gonna continue to track a lot of this damage. Look at this mailbox here, folks. Just completely pushed back over. Looks like this held up with rebar. You're good, I'm watching him. Going back in here. Very fluid situation here, folks. A lot happening. So you'll just kind of have to bear with me as we continue to go through. But folks, look at that. You got blue skies starting to show. A lot of work to be done here in this area. Another thing is too, folks, it's very dangerous being out here with all the power lines being down, as electric's going to be blowing kind of through these. I'm sure they have a lot of it shut down. Look, that's even part of the power line here. You can see they have something marked there, that way people know. But this was actually blown from one side of the highway back onto the other side. So something you really have to pay attention to, especially puddles with this type of system. Electricity still flowing through, it can carry that current through those puddles, and that can lead to some shock. But some widespread damage, a little bit more in close to that actual house there. That is going to be that house that actually was taken to. Now, folks, I'm going to get back on here in a sec. I'm going to move past. So I'm going to hop on here.
That's right. Here in Owasso, we are starting to see, as it was almost like a rock skipping on water. We're seeing the damage in this neighborhood kind of hopping through this area. We see a home in this back right here with the roof taken off of it. I did speak with the homeowners earlier this morning. They said everyone was safe in this house. Their son was upstairs at the time, but he was able to remain safe. But I do want to talk about one thing that I've found kind of interesting, and that's the amount of insulation that has come out of these homes. It is kind of acting like a snow here right now. As this insulation dries up, it is kind of flaking down, covering the roadways, coming from the trees, coming from the roofs. You can actually see it on the roof next door. And I do want to get back to some of the city updates. They just said that this tornado stretched 11 miles. There are no reported injuries at this time. Several different sections of the Fairways neighborhood by Bailey Ranch Golf Course, they suffered damage. And I actually spoke with a homeowner who tells me this was an extremely quick storm.
So it was like very fast, and I probably won't ever be trying to go out and see tornadoes again. When the sirens go off, I'm just going to immediately, make sure everybody. Luckily, we did that this morning.
And as we talked about tornado recovery, this community showed up in force. We were seeing high schoolers out here, parents, everyone really getting out and helping. And this has been a very big community effort. And continuing our team coverage, we have 2 News Oklahoma's Emma Birch. She is outside of a home just about half a mile down the road from me. Emma, what are you seeing?
Well, Braden, like you said, the tornado kind of just jumped around, and Sally, this home behind me saw the worst of the damage. Right here is just pieces of the roof, but if you look behind me, this house is almost completely gone. The whole roof and most of the second top of the house is just completely gone. You can see inside of this house, and like Braden said before, it was so fast, and the family that lives here, I spoke with them, and they tell me they only had seconds to get out of the storm's way.
10-15 seconds after they went off, I just felt a giant brunt of wind just hit the house, and I could feel the house start to shake. So, I mean, I ducked for cover a little.
That was Ryan Mosley, a senior who was getting ready for the day. He was in the bathroom when the tornado hit. He said he crouched down to protect himself, and then 10 seconds later, after the storm passed, he tried to open the door. That's when he said the roof caved in on the staircase, causing him to jump over the debris to get to his family.
Thank God. I mean, that's really all I can say is it's a miracle I'm alive. If I had ran down those stairs maybe 10 seconds sooner, I would have been crushed.
And luckily for Mosley, all he has a couple scrapes on his leg from jumping over the debris, but he and his family are safe and no injuries. But what's really important is how great the Oklahoma standard is shining. All his neighbors are out here right now trying to help out. They're trying to scavenge anything they can from the inside. That's good. They're putting this couch on this trailer, trying to help out in any way they can. I mean, as soon as I got out here, I saw neighbors working together, asking what they can do to help. The true Oklahoma standard.
Lily O'Shea Becker also in town. She brings us a look at some of the damage elsewhere. Lily?
Yeah, Caitlin, I'm here at Nevada Oaks. It's a family-owned and operated student housing option for Missouri Welding Institute. And I just want you to take a look at the damage here around me. Not only did the tornado rip apart these rooms, but if you take a look here to the left behind the student housing, this is the property owner's daughter's house. She was set to move into the house tomorrow, and now she's just trying to keep it together for these students. Cars, rooms, a house, and a family plan destroyed.
This is our heart and soul. Yeah, we love this place. My dad put everything into this place, and the students loved it here.
Sherry Snyder's father owns Nevada Oaks. She helps operate it. They turned it into student housing for nearby Missouri Welding Institute. She says her family treats the students like family.
We were just where we got happy and got this remodeled. It was all finished.
Among the things remodeled, Sherry's new home, completely destroyed.
And I was getting ready to move in there tomorrow. So now I'm not going to move in there tomorrow. So it's gone. So I'm in shock. It feels like a bad dream.
The students were there to witness the destruction.
I just looked outside, and sure enough, there was a tornado pretty much coming right through here at this point. Sheet metal was flying everywhere at that point. Definitely a scary situation to be in. As soon as I closed the bathroom door, the window there broke.
Many from out of state experiencing Midwest weather for the first time.
The movies tell you like, oh, like it lasts for so long, but it was so fast. And I know the neighbor right here, I think he's the only one that really got hurt, and he got like lifted up and thrown around in his room. His old roof is gone.
Yeah, Sherry and students say it was a man that lived in this room right here on the corner here behind me. They say he was really shaken up and he had a few cuts, but Sherry says that they helped clean him up, and Sherry and students are just thankful that everyone here is alive. Reporting live in Nevada, Lily O'Shea Becker, KSHB 41 News.
Crazy stuff. Look at this.
Friends, this is a tornado on the ground moving northeast. I'm looking at F Highway. It's on the west side of F Highway, moving north in Washington County right now. I can see it from my front porch.
This is crazy.
It's been going up and down.
You can see the rain wrapping around it now.
The rain is wrapping around. I think it is moving toward the Richwood area.
It's going up right there.
It's been going up and down for probably the last maybe 5 minutes. We've been watching it, but that is definitely an active tornado. So if you are in Richwoods, the news is correct.
Oh, it's going down right there. I see it.
Again, this is me looking at F Highway. F Highway is right there. It's northwest of F Highway. It's moving northeast in Washington County right now. It is going up and down.
I was just sitting there.
It's on the other side of F Highway. It's moving to the northeast in Washington County toward the Richwoods area. It has been forming for over 5 minutes now. It's behind the tree. Let me see if I can get where you can see it. And it's much, 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 much bigger than it was. It's picking up steam, I feel. I'm not a meteor around. I just saw a flash of fire. So if you are in the Richwoods area, if you're on the north part of the county, on the other side of F Highway, please take shelter.
It's crazy. That was earlier in Missouri.
It's moving to our northeast. We've been watching for over 5 minutes. This is in Washington County. I'm live. I'm facing F Highway from my front porch. It has been up and down for almost, I guess, about 7 minutes now.
Oh, yeah. You can see it on the ground.
If you are in the northwestern part of Washington County, please take shelter.
Why is it not? Where's my camera?
It is... Hey, I'm live, you guys. Don't scream in the background. Please, people are watching. Again, this is F Highway, so it is on the northwest side of F Highway, moving through the northern part of Washington County.
Hold on. Everybody's calling. Hold on, Carson, I gotta go.
Please take shelter if you're toward the Richwoods area.
Yeah, for real. Where are they at?
Hey. That is a live tornado. Northern Washington County. It's moving to the northeast. It has been coming up and down for almost 10 minutes. This is north of Potosi. This would be more toward the Richwoods area. This is F Highway, right down this driveway.
It looks like it's going up a little
about a mile and a half outside of Potosi. So this would be to the northwest, now moving northern part of the county. We've watched it come all the way through. It's a lot bigger than it was. We tracked it from about right there, just over the driveway. It's gone all the way through, and it's gotten bigger. So if you're in the Richwoods area or the northern part of Washington County, it is going up and down. We have seen it touch down from our hill. We saw firework, like a spark on the ground and some debris even from here, and that's probably many miles from us, but we could see it because of the location of our house. We could see it. It's going behind the trees now, so I might get off of here because I don't know if you can see it. But again, if you're in the northern part of Washington County, you need to take shelter in the Richwoods area. Anything around the Richwoods area. This is Missouri. This is the northern part of Washington County, Missouri, is where this tornado is. I'm just outside of Potosi. This is F Highway. It went all the way along the western side of F Highway up to the north. I'm feeling a lot like a meteorologist right now. You cannot see it behind those trees, but we could see it very, very clearly across the horizon. It was a tornado. We saw it touch down. We saw fire on the ground for a second. We saw some debris just that way. I'm now hearing sirens coming out. The highway, I can't tell now if it's still formed through the trees, so I'm going to get off of here, but share the video for people who are in the northern part of Washington County, Missouri, toward the Richwoods area. The tornado is there now. Please take shelter. Our prayers. We are okay here on F Highway, but it was again to the northwest, moving northeast through the northern part of Washington County. So if you have anybody in that area, please.
So that was Washington County. Now here is Nevada, Missouri.
Well, thank you for being here. My name is Gary Edwards, City Manager here at here in Nevada, and the sheriff and fire chief are here and can answer any of your questions also. But glad to tell you that there have been no deaths, first of all. Also, There's been one injury that we know of, possibly another one, but one injury that we can confirm at this point. We've been working as a team, the county, the city, the state, to address the damage that occurred entering from the south, southwest and exiting through the northeast. And it kind of hop through town, and where it set down, extensive damage occurred. We've had several meetings beginning at 9 a.m., had another one at noon, and this is the third meeting we've had today. There'll be another meeting tomorrow also to reevaluate. We've toured the area to look at the damage that occurred. And in parts, it is extensive damage. We don't know about any declaration as of this moment. We are working on that, but that's under evaluation at this point and will be for a period of time, we estimate. A number of people were without power, and we heard from Evergy. By the way, Evergy's done a wonderful job, as the sheriff said a few minutes ago during a meeting we had. They've been incredible to work with, very good to work with. 4,800 customers were impacted. 4,800 customers were impacted by the storm, and 1,088 customers are without service as we stand here today. Plus, Evergy says 38 contract crews, in addition to the crews of their own, are out working. And I've seen a lot of energy companies do work in storms like this, but this is certainly one of the best, and they're acting very quickly. We have no time frame as of this moment on when the power will be completely restored. At this point, any questions you may have?
I was told that there was an issue with a gas leak earlier. Has that been resolved?
I'm not familiar with it.
So I was told that there was a propane tank that was flipped over and it had been shut off. It's been taken care of and addressed. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Edwards, could you estimate how much time there was when the sirens and the alerts first went off to when the tornado got through the town? Because it seems like people were able to duck and cover quickly if there weren't many injuries.
There was a short period of time, and the gentleman here, the fire chief, will be able to answer that. He's the one who activated the sirens.
Could you break that down, sir?
Yeah, so I got notification from dispatch and also looking at the weather that we were under a warning, and then we went ahead and so we, from what I understand, talking to the National Weather Service and other people, it came upon us pretty quick, but we were still able to activate the sirens before any damage occurred.
Do you feel like it helps having a National Weather Service branch office here in this region? Do you feel like that played a role, having them kind of in your own backyard and working together with them?
Yeah, we rely on Springfield quite a bit, so we use them quite a bit and reach out to them if we have any questions.
Speaking of the National Weather Service, I know they've been in town surveying. Any word from them on, are they calling it a tornado, and have they given you any indication of what the rating of it may be?
As of this moment, that's still being reviewed by the National Weather Service. As far as a firm answer on that, we don't have that unless you gentlemen know of anything.
At this point in time, they're still in the evaluation period. I would assume that probably in the next 12 to 16 hours, we'll have a little bit more info on that. But right now, they're still evaluating the strength of the storm and all that kind of stuff.
So you wouldn't even call it a tornado necessarily yet?
Not at this point in time.
Is the damage path still looking like it was from Moundville to the northeast, headed towards just north of Walker?
Yeah, correction. Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Edwards, could you give any estimation to how long it might be before those 4,800 people without power could see it restored, and also what the time frame could look like on Austin Boulevard when that could reopen?
4,800 people were initially impacted, but right now 1,088 are power. But they could not give, a question was asked, but a specific timeline could not be given as far as when everybody, 100%, will be back with power.
And as far as Austin Boulevard goes, I am preparing to open that up at about 6 o'clock this evening. I think we've got all the debris cleared off of it, and I think it's able to be floated through safely.
In the meantime, Sheriff, what's your message to the about being aware of down wires that could still be in people's yards, or just if they come across anything, what advice to them as the cleanup continues?
Safety's one of our key points here. If you have down wires, please don't approach them. Contact Evergy or whatever power company. I think we're working with 3 different power companies: Barton County Electric, Evergy, and Saco Sage, I believe. But please don't go don't try to dodge around the power lines and that kind of stuff. Call us. We'll come verify it and make sure that it's a dead power line or whatever the case may be, and we'll try to get it cleared. So.
Sheriff, we heard somebody might have been pulled out of a house in Moundville or in Moundville.
I can't confirm that. I know that an individual was injured. One injury was in that area. I know that his house took a significant hit, and I think they transported him. His family transported him. He refused initial, but I don't know that he was actually inside the house when it went down. So.
And you earlier had said something about looting. Have you had any instances?
I have not, but I do want to say this: I will not tolerate it in this county. I have extra staff coming in. I have the highway patrol coming in, and we will police that. I will not tolerate looting. If you're doing it, you're going to go to jail.
Chief, could you break down as soon as the damage came through? How did you guys sort of just unfold who goes where and break down what area to respond to in that regard?
Yeah. So once the damage occurred, I was already kind of in the damage area, so I contacted other department heads and also on-duty crews, and we kind of set up a unified command. So that's just getting every department head involved, and then we were able to disperse different agencies out at that time. So we probably had around 100 emergency personnel respond from outside the counties and also inside our own county also.
You had agencies from outside the county come in as well?
Yes. Fort Scott, El Dorado, Bates County, and also Cedar.
Mr. Edwards, have you been in contact with the state at all? Is the governor sending in a team here soon, or what would that look like going forward?
We've contacted people who are in contact with the governor's office, but no word, no decision as far as the declaration goes. That's going to take a little while for that to be determined, and if it's going to be applied to us.
From Jefferson City, I did just get that they activated the National Guard in response to the storm response. What kind of help would they be able to provide Nevada? What would that look like for you guys? I mean, to be able to receive that assistance, what does that look like?
So, if you guys are good with this, they would be like a perimeter area if we needed that closure to keep people out of it. With us opening up Austin, I don't know that we're going to have to worry about as far as a perimeter anymore, so we may not need them, but they are on standby if we need them.
So just to clarify, no gas leak?
Not to mine. It was a propane tank. Pretty much all of our rural housing, everybody has a propane tank on. I have one, and the last I knew that it was a propane tank that got turned over and the valve needed to be shut off.
I just wanted to clarify, because
yes.
We talked to someone who was right by the motel that was destroyed, who said he was without gas, and he said some of his neighbors were without gas as well.
Yeah, so the gas company may have shut that off. I don't know that, but I don't know that there was a gas leak. Yeah.
So it's a residential bullet tank thing, it wasn't?
Yes,
okay.
That from what I have been told.
There was multiple gas lines in residential houses, and if there's significant damage and those get damaged, we can just go shut those off. Yeah. So that's probably what they're referring to. Yep.
Okay. Any of you can answer this. Everybody I've spoken to, when they look at the damage and they realize nobody died, no life-threatening injuries that we know so far, they're all calling this nothing short of a miracle. How have you all been processing this as you survey the damage and you see the results?
This has been talked about in several instances today. The city is lucky. The city escaped potential, and individuals and citizens escaped potential damage and worse. So we're thankful. We're thankful for the fact that there are no deaths, that there's one injury. That's something always to be thankful for. And when you see, and some of you have seen, or all of you have seen, the spots that have been hit pretty hard, and we're very thankful no one was seriously injured except for that one person, and no one is dead. A lot to be thankful for.
Two things, you know, the condition of this injured person, or they stable, critical?
I have been just, this is third-hand information. My understanding had some rib injuries, but that is the only thing that I've been told, and I can't confirm that, so I don't know that for sure. But.
Understood. Sheriff, your department had posted that there would be resources available at the fairgrounds for folks who needed it.
Correct.
What does that look like? And for folks who need it, what can they be?
So at our Centennial Hall building, which is at the Vernon County Fairgrounds, there we have staffed it with my staff and some volunteer firemen, and so we have resources as far as help. Red Cross is there, Salvation Army, our first responders have a place to go eat and get rehydrated, and so that will be open all night long. Also, for the people that don't have a place to stay now, I know that the community center that the city manager and the Chief McClintock, they have opened up the community center here in town, and they have cots that the Red Cross moved in there. So I think we're good on that.
And adding, absolutely correct, and adding to that, we have put on our social media pages 3 numbers that can be called if they need help with whatever. Call this number and we will get that particular problem addressed. So that's on our social media pages, those 3 numbers.
And I want to take this time to thank all the surrounding counties. Sheriff Kaiser.
It's freezing up. Yeah, he froze up. That was in Missouri there speaking.
For the response and the quick response. And all the rural fire departments, man, 120 people sitting out front. I'd moved my mobile command unit down there. It was a little overwhelming. We didn't know which direction to go. All of my staff was called in, and we did our preliminary search to make sure we didn't have any injured deaths or anything like that. Then we went back out. We had enough staff to go back out again, make our secondary sweep. And so my staff is out patrolling now and making sure that, like Moundville area, they don't need extra water, you know, anything like that, or there's injuries or whatever. So we're out being able to actually patrol and make sure the looting doesn't happen, that kind of stuff. So
no looting.
Damage
no looting.
Potosi.
Yeah, that's close to an hour and a half away from St. Louis. Missouri State Highway Patrol, they shared these photos from storm damage in Washington County, Missouri. This is near Ebo, which is northwest of Potosi. Now, so far, according to the Highway Patrol, no fatalities have been reported associated with this storm. Tracy Henson is near there in our storm tracker. Tracy, as it starts to get darker in just a few more minutes, at least people are able to assess the damage in the daylight.
Alrighty, Kelly. So what we've heard so far is I actually gave my phone number to one of the family members. This was the home that we heard on H. Smith Road in Potosi where people were trapped. We are told that everyone is out of that home safely. We do believe it was a trailer that was impacted by this storm, and they are out. That is much further up the road. They've been working to clear debris to try to get to that home. Some other areas of damage, though, just along this line of storms, there is a carport down, and it is sitting, I'm going to zoom in, you can kind of see where that carport is, sitting on 2 cars right now. I actually talked to the people from this house, and they were on the deck when the storm came through. So they said they actually watched everything happen. And as that storm came through, they stayed on the deck just because they could see that the storm was near them, but not directly over them. And the winds ended up knocking that down. You can also see there's lots of scenes like this from this area as well. So this is along H. Smith in Potosi, where we have trees that are just kind of broken in half. We've also seen some power lines broken in half. Now, the buzz of chainsaws I can still hear back in the distance. Heard it for a few hours now as people are working to clear that road. And that's mostly neighbors who are coming in to help clear this road. It is a public road, but you know, it's all been neighbors with their chainsaws and trucks making their way down here to clear things out. So that's what we've heard so far. And as far as damage goes, lots of tree branches, and the woman whose family members were in that home that had the reports of the people trapped, she said she'd message me when they made it up there to let me know how that damage looks. Live in Potosi, I'm Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
Yeah, so these are a
Severe
lot
weather
of the
wreaking havoc on parts of the Ozarks Wednesday. I'm Bailey Stroll here on the Ozarks First Digital Desk. Extensive damage from a possible tornado is being reported in the Nevada community in Vernon County. That's about an hour north of Joplin. A tornado warning was issued in that area around 7:30 for a storm. Those in Moundville, Missouri, also reporting likely storm damage or tornado damage. Before noon today, more than 3,000 customers were without power in Vernon County. We'll take a look at the outages in just a moment. We are getting reports that several homes and businesses are damaged. Reports to be centered around East Austin Boulevard in Nevada. That's west of Interstate 49. And according to social media posts, parents have been posting today saying that possible tornado tore through the southeast part of town as parents were dropping their kids off at school. We do have a crew in Vernon County today checking out the damage in the Nevada area. Here's Ozarks First, Bethany French.
All right, so here we are. We are in Nevada right now in Vernon County, where a storm has swept through this area and really destroyed a lot of different buildings and properties. You can see especially this building here, their entire roof has been blown off. And if you can see some of those white specks that are around on the ground and on the cars, this is what we think and we seems to be insulation from that roof. You can see here there's also power lines that are down, parts of that roof that have been taken across the street and even farther down from this storm and the wind. Now, we did have a chance to talk to a couple of people who were here and who have been able to see parts of this storm, and they say that there is just a lot of damage, especially on Austin right through town. There was the Chinese restaurant that had been damaged, a motel, a car wash, and even more than that, there was an equipment company on the other side of town and the country club that also saw quite a bit of damage. One person I spoke with says that they actually saw a train car that had tipped over off of the tracks after this wind and storm came through this area. So a lot of work is going to need to be done to clean up here in Nevada in Vernon County after this storm that has come through the area. And we'll be sure to keep you updated with more information on our website, ozarksfirst.com. In Vernon County, Bethany French, Ozarks First.
Thanks, Bethany, for providing that report from the scene of the damage that we are seeing. Now, according to the Vernon County Sheriff's Office, all units, volunteers, first responders, they have all been deployed. It appears that there are no medical needs at this time. We're still working to learn the extent of any injuries that people have suffered because of this likely tornado, but it seems like right now crews have not been responding to any medical needs right now. So the Sheriff's Office says the State Office of of Emergency Management has been notified. The Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and other volunteers and agencies are also responding to the Nevada community. If you need help, if you need aid, if you have suffered extensive damage on your property and you need to know what to do next, this is what you do. Go to the Vernon County Fairgrounds at 1641 Ashland Street in Nevada. That's where a volunteer station has been set up, the Vernon County Fairgrounds. That is north of the extent of the worst damage that we're seeing in Nevada. So head there if you need any help at all. The Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and SEMA should be there with volunteers from other agencies as well that can help you out. Let's take a look at the power outages at this moment. You could see that damage that we got from Bethany French in the field today. Now here's a look at how many are without power in that area. So they were tracking 10,000 or about 10,800 customers. Out of those, nearly 3,000 are without power right now. When I looked at this map a little bit ago, it was 3,300. So they are quickly making restoring power to a lot of areas, and that will continue throughout the day. We will continue our storm coverage as well. We are expecting another round of storms to hit east of Springfield later today, and we will have crews out reporting live as that storm rolls through. So stick with Ozarks First. I'm Bailey Stroh.
Areas. All right, so this is a broadcast from southern Illinois.
Very quickly. So with that, we're going to turn our full attention to this one cell now down near Anna.
So these same storms that plowed through Missouri are working its
Once
way
again, this just because this might
through Indiana and southern
not be
Illinois.
on the ground right now doesn't mean it can't become on the ground again. If you live in Goreville, you need to be paying close attention to this cell.
Yeah, I'm skipping.
So once again, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire for Williamson, Franklin, Perry, and Jackson County. And they have replaced that with a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back to our camera in Anna.
All right, so we'll be back later on surveying more of the damage aspect and the aftermath of these tornadoes that are all over the place. I'm looking right now. There's a lot of tornadoes in the northeast Arkansas area. So stay vigilant out there. These things are going to be coming through. And then tomorrow we'll survey the damage on if there is any damage out there like we just did. So we were focusing there more or less in the Missouri, Oklahoma area as this came through. So I'll keep you informed. Stay safe out there. The power of Mother Nature. If you get those warnings on your phone, alerts, siren sounds, take cover. Thanks for watching, folks. JLR Investigates. We'll talk soon.